Bobby Flay is one of the most popular celebrity chefs around, but when he received his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, one major hater ruined the whole ceremony. Why? When Bobby Flay was 17, he dropped out of school. He wasn't angry or bored, he told CBS Sunday Morning in an exclusive interview. He just wasn't interested.
You went to Catholic school?
Yeah.
I can't imagine you
I went to
Catholic
every Catholic school.
Every Catholic school?
Every Catholic school
Why
in
did you get
Manhattan.
thrown out of all of them?
I just like to meet a lot of the different saints.
Flay's father secured him a job as a busboy in a restaurant kitchen, which he loved. He said, "I remember waking up in the morning, laying in my bed staring at the ceiling, and saying to myself, I can't wait to go to work today. I didn't have to open a book. I was learning in a practical manner." Flay did eventually seek a higher education in cooking, graduating from New York's Institute of Culinary Education in 1984. By 26, he had opened his first New York City restaurant, Mesa Grill, and he worked hard. But during that time, Flay also put on a lot of weight. He told Men's Journal, "I would work until 11:30 p.m. and then get dinner with a bunch of other cooks. Our routine was to go to Blue Ribbon Brasserie and eat 4 courses and drink a few bottles of wine. That's like a really bad idea to do for a long time." By 1999, Flay was in his mid-30s, could no longer fit into his clothes, and his health was out of control. So he decided to rein it in. He started by taking control of his diet and eating at home rather than at a restaurant. He now even prepares his meals when he travels. He also runs 5 times a week, and when he's not running, you'll find him cycling, swimming, or in a spin class. He told Men's Journal, "I look and feel healthier now." Flay may be one of the most successful chefs in America, but he hasn't found the same level of success with romance, as all 3 of his marriages have ended in divorce. When Flay met his first wife, Deborah Ponzek, they were both rising stars. He was 25 and was chefing at an East Village restaurant called Miracle Grill. Ponzek was at the top of her game too, working at a French restaurant called Montrachet. The two met at a Meals on Wheels charity event and hit it off, embarking on a whirlwind romance. Just a few weeks after meeting, Flay proposed over lunch at an American place in Manhattan's Murray Hill neighborhood. They were married in 1991. In an unusual twist, both husband and wife were nominated for the prestigious James Beard Award in 1992 in the same category, Rising Star Chef. Flay tried to withdraw his name, but it was too late. He needn't have bothered because Ponzek won the award that year anyway. Shortly after tying the knot, Flay opened Mesa Grill, the southwestern restaurant that established his reputation in New York City. In an interview with the New York Times, Ponzek mentioned that their split was largely due to Flay's demanding work schedule, which kept him away from home more than she had hoped. Their marriage was brief, lasting only 2 years before they divorced in 1993. Flay then met Kate Connolly when he appeared as a guest on Robin Leach Talking Food, which Connolly was co-hosting. They were immediately attracted to one another and started dating shortly after. Their magnetic connection led to marriage in 1995. Connolly, at the time, was a single mother. Flay embraced fatherhood and became a stepfather to her son. The couple also welcomed their own daughter, Sophie Flay, in 1996. Their marriage didn't last, however, and the couple separated in 1998 before eventually divorcing. Despite the breakup, they seemed to part amicably and continued co-parenting their daughter, who has grown up to pursue her own career in the media. Flay's adventures in divorce weren't over yet, though, and the third one would prove to be the bitterest. Flay met Law & Order SVU actor Stephanie March through mutual friends in 2000. Their first date was at Nobu. March told CNN in 2008, "I know it's a cliche, but I remember thinking, oh my gosh, this is the rest of my life." Flay proposed to her in 2003 with a princess-cut diamond ring while ice skating at Rockefeller Center. But not all that glitters is gold. In their divorce documents, March accused Flay of cheating on her multiple times during their 10-year marriage. It was such a messy divorce that the Daily Beast called it Throwdown with Bobby Flay and Stephanie March, a cheeky nod to his cooking show of a similar name. Flay cut March's access to her credit card, which she used for living expenses and pet food. She accused Flay of having 3 affairs, one long-term with his assistant, Elise. In 2010, the gossip sites also picked up on an encounter between Flay and Mad Men star January Jones, who called him for help when her car broke down. The third woman is still a mystery. Their bitter divorce spilled over memorably during Flay's Walk of Fame ceremony in 2015, which took an unexpected turn during his speech when a plane flew overhead trailing a banner with the word cheater. Rumors quickly swirled that March was responsible for the banner. Despite the dramatic display, Flay kept his composure and continued with the ceremony. He was going to take media interviews afterward, but abruptly left. The banner became a hot topic, overshadowing the star he received. A few weeks after the event, Flay's divorce from March was finalized. Bobby Flay's intense work ethic has been both the foundation of his culinary success and a challenge in his personal life. His dedication to building a culinary empire, opening numerous restaurants, hosting TV shows, and writing cookbooks has made him a household name. However, the demanding nature of his career has taken a toll on his relationships. His relentless focus on work often left little time for personal commitments, contributing to the strain in his marriages. In a tell-all interview on Ina Garten's show Be My Guest, Flay talked about the early days of his career and revealed that his first Food Network TV TV show Grillin' and Chillin' caused him to miss a key formative period in his young daughter's life. Flay said, "I know when that show was shot because my daughter Sophie, who's 27, was 10 days old. We shot 42 shows in 7 days. The new dad's busy schedule not only kept him away from his wife and newborn daughter, it also gave him anxiety at night when, instead of thinking about his new child, he'd be worrying about what they'd have to accomplish the next day, as they filmed 6 episodes a day."
It's insane.
Despite his long and illustrious career and openly admitting that he's more into being a chef than making TV shows, Flay couldn't hold on to the Michelin star his Las Vegas restaurant Mesa Grill earned in 2008. In 2009, they didn't win the star back, and by 2010, Michelin was no longer publishing a Las Vegas guide, so Mesa Grill was off the Michelin map. The Caesars Palace establishment was the sister restaurant of Mesa Grill in New York City, the darling of Bobby Flay's enterprise. According to the Michelin guide, having a star shows that a restaurant, quote, uses the finest ingredients, has dishes with distinct flavors, and a consistently high standard. Another hard day for Flay was when Mesa Grill in New York, which had 2 stars in the New York Times Review, also lost a star. On a visit to the restaurant in 2008, food critic Frank Bruni dropped the restaurant's rating down from 2 stars to 1. Flay told CBS Sunday Morning, "I was in a taxi when I found out he was taking a star from me. It was a long day. I got really drunk that night." Flay ultimately closed the New York City location in 2013. In 2011, Flay invested in America's Next Great Restaurant, a reality TV competition aimed at discovering the next big fast casual dining concept. Alongside fellow celebrity chefs and investors, Flay served as a judge, helping contestants develop their restaurant ideas. The winning concept, Soul Daddy, focused on soul food with a healthier twist. Despite the show's high hopes, though, the venture struggled to gain traction. After the series ended, Soul Daddy opened in 3 locations: New York, Los Angeles, and Minneapolis. Within just a few weeks, however, 2 of the locations were forced to close due to low customer demand. The last remaining location in Minneapolis followed suit shortly after. Flay and the other investors had envisioned a hit, but the rapid collapse of the restaurants highlighted the difficulty of translating TV success into real-world business longevity. The show was then canceled. A press release said, "This was a difficult decision for us, as we wanted to see Soul Daddy succeed, but the restaurant simply was not performing as we had hoped." Beat Bobby Flay has been on TV screens since 2013, but some fans have accused the cooking competition of being rigged because they don't understand how Flay wins so much. In the Food Network series, 2 cooks go head-to-head, creating a dish of their choosing using a secret ingredient chosen by Flay. Whoever wins that round then competes against Flay, and they get to choose the signature dish they'll both be making. This means the challenger should usually have the upper hand, unless they happen to randomly choose a dish Flay excels at. Despite this, though, Flay wins more often than he loses, with his win rate hovering around 62%.
And the winner is Mr. Bobby Flavor.
This has caused some fans to accuse the show of rigging the judging in Flay's favor. One Redditor wrote of the blind tastings, "Bobby wins like 90% of the time, and while I believe that Bobby has the experience and resume to cook just about anything well, I find it hard to believe that he can universally cook dishes that at least 2 out of 3 judges will prefer in a blind tasting." Flay became a household name in part due to his high-profile gig on the hit Iron Chef franchise, so it was a shock to everyone, including the show's producers, when he suddenly quit on air via a bizarre stunt. After appearing in over 100 episodes of the series and its spin-offs, Flay showed up in front of the camera for an episode of Iron Chef Showdown, wearing a t-shirt under his chef whites that had "This is my last Iron Chef battle ever" scribbled on it. Flay hadn't told the Food Network executives that he was quitting, leaving them upset and frustrated, especially since there was no way to edit around Flay's message, which is exactly what he wanted.
Definitely edit that. Wait, where's the edit button?
No. You can't control what we air.
So why did Flay do it? He told an audience at the South Beach Wine and Food Festival in 2018, "I wanted everyone to know that this is my last Iron Chef battle. My objective, though, it was probably not the best idea, was that that's what would be filmed. When the camera's on you, that's what the viewer would see. So I did it." Flay later backpedaled, saying that he was just having a bit of fun and would be open to returning to the show in the future. Given that Flay is still with Food Network, it seems they were able to smooth over the ruffled feathers. Flay is known for his grilling, Southwestern cuisine, and bold flavors. But if you want to beat Flay in the kitchen, or on one of his competition shows, baking is his kryptonite. It turns out the formidable chef struggles with pastries and cakes. He told Delish that his Achilles heel is, quote, anything with butter, flour, sugar, and eggs. A particular cake he really struggled to master, and that still haunts him today, was a wedding cake for an episode of Throwdown with Bobby Flay. He was up against a New York pastry chef, and Flay's German chocolate wedding cake was rather naive. "The person I went up against made this spectacular, gorgeous wedding cake. Mine was very country style. It was very uneven, but it tasted really good."
For originality, Bobby, you got originality.
Needless to say, that was one challenge he didn't win. So maybe that judging isn't rigged after all. Sorry, Reddit.